You were talking about facilities and how we can actually, improve it, especially in Lagos. People use the bridge in order to jog and everything. People playing on sand that is not even too good. So what are the ways you feel the government can actually help in these areas?
Yeah, I must most sincerely commend the government of Lagos State in the last 10, 12 years on sports development facilities done at Lagos Stadium, campus. But they're not enough. They're not enough. If you look at the number of athletes and people who are willing to be involved in sports, and also, sports has no barrier. Religion, creed, profession, whatever you have, so it doesn't matter. So if you need something, it's an area that you can actually earn so much. That's entertainment area, just like what we have in the movies, what we have in the music industry, what we have in the fashion. Sports is the fourth segment. There are only four: fashion, movies, music, and sports. And they have no barriers. Religion, educational, you don't need to know anything. So far you can do it, and there's a lot of science in sports. How do you control a ball coming at about 140 meter, miles speed, and you get it to, these are things they never studied, but they were able to get it done. Let's go to facilities. And that's why I said there's a need for federal government to have equity participation and contribution to all local governments. And over the years, the federal government has not really assisted generality of Nigerians at that level. Fine. Let me also mention clearly, there is no athlete that is owned or produced by the National Sports Commission or the Ministry of Sports. All athletes and players are produced by all the state sports council. And the issue is that what is the level of commitment and support from the federal government to all these states who are producing these athletes? There is no single athlete produced by National Sports Commission or Ministry of Sports. They all rely on all the states. And we know some states are good, some states have strength in this, they have weakness, but whatever happens, you can still. We know which states are doing well, which are doing even. I know Borno is good in volleyball, Borno is good in weightlifting. I know I've been there because I know. But in some states, let's take away our weaknesses, let's look at our strengths and see what can they produce. But the issue is that what level of support as a nation have you given these states? So how do they want to continue to replenish and produce more athletes for you? You have to help them. If you have not done that, then I'm asking that we have to go to the arrears. They ought to have given the last 40 years. Then they now do by giving functional minimal facility in each local government, which is 774. Some, like in Lagos, we have 37 more now. We have in some Jigawa and whatever, they've also created most local government. Let's federal government, and there'll be a cap. It's not a facility that is just being, and there will be a creator, there will be equipment and materials, and it will allow for what we regard in Lagos State as shared formula. What do you mean by shared formula? The facilities will be in place, there will be unhindered and unrestricted access to this facility. Correct. And we also must make sure the school sports must also go into this. Like you mentioned, University of Lagos. I have been to very many international sports conducted at University of Lagos. They come in from Ikorodu. Tell me their peers that will come and watch them. None. So what's the sense? Why should you come from Ikorodu to come and at the University of Lagos? What's happening to Ikorodu? These are the things we need to do.
Okay, in a nutshell, what you're trying to say is the federal government will not just provide those facilities for each of these local governments, but maybe there must also be a subvention given to the state that produce more athletes.
Exactly. It's a time period time for the facility as a punishment for federal government not bothering about all the local governments. You have to go back and your arrears is the provision and upgrade of X number in each local government. Then there must be some level of control. There will be a creator. It's not the provision of this facility. There must be equipment. There must be facility. Materials. Then there must be a time period that there is a continuous replacement and upgrade of this equipment. Like a 5-year period. And the creator and the what I said is it's not actually for the local government. It's still but then the creator controls it, and there must be people who actually are involved in sports, not just what we used to find. I do not want to go to the National Stadium or National Stadium in Kaduna, in Kano, or Port Harcourt. The one we held, in 1999, we had under 20. We actually refurbished ABC Stadium. When we were going to do the next under 17, which is 3 years below, we couldn't provide a facility. We couldn't find any. So all the government had to come in and do something. So what happened to them? They are there. and we created new ones. But then, if we were going to do under 5 in Nigeria today, we do not have a functional facility. Unfortunately, that is it. Because it's not just playing, the competencies are important. If they go, how do you evacuate people? You know what happened in National people died in 1976? We have not been able to come out of that, unfortunately.
So it's just going beyond having the facilities for maintenance, also replacement every 5 years. That's also an aspect. Now, we talked about Lagos State. They're more like the flag bearer now, talking about sports development.
Yes.
In your own capacity, what are the other things you can actually just put in place to have a kind of total support for the state, and also maybe for individuals that actually want to come in and support sports in Lagos?
Yeah, you see, it's important that our friends and our friends generally should also see the programs and activities being done in Lagos State and keen to it. The Lagos State has actually tried in the area of provision of facilities, and that's where people can go to. But then they're not, like I mentioned, they're not enough. It's about there is dearth of facilities nationwide, and Lagos is not an exception. But then we're lucky that we still have this here, and we do. But there are more people coming to it. Look at school sports. We have not even touched it at all. Fortunately, there is a program and there's a timetable for school sports in Lagos State. But the issue is that you have to make sure that the school sports in Lagos State, from GSS1 to SS3, are actually scoring and compulsory, and there must be practicals. You cannot go to do, carry out or conduct your inter-sports without training. They need to be maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks of practices before it. In case there is a world beater within that category, how would you do? If you train for 1-2 days, you can't. You know, the body must be conditioned to the training before you can do 400 meters, 800 meters. And if you go to their training, to their inter-sport, you'll be so surprised they can even do. That's why in this place they call it 100. We just say 100, 100. So there is something to self-help, but self-help will not get you there. If Usain Bolt that you just highlighted now resulted in self-help, we would never know Usain Bolt. We would never. The woman that discovered her in Jamaica is now a king, like a big woman there, because she is so cool as her games master. That is games master. But then we have a lot of games masters who actually been there, their efforts have not actually been rewarded. They don't even know, and we have a lot of Usain Bolts here. But if they train for 4-6 weeks before the entire sport, something will come out from that. They're just training, and not even training at all. They just match them to them and go, what inter sports? Yes. And inter sports, school sports, PE must be taught by PE graduates. Okay. If you have a 150, if you have 3 arms of school in Lagos State, you must, or in any state, you must have at least 100 students or 150, you must have 2 PE graduates. Graduates, not just anybody being drafted to do PE. These are, because you know why? The fundamentals of PE, you need to know. It's not, for instance, a history teacher cannot teach chemistry. So why should somebody who's not PE come and handle
house sports? Okay, there's so much to talk about it. Well, thank you so much, sir, for finding out time, to actually, talk to us this morning. We know there's so much to talk about. Maybe we'll bring you back again, especially when the Governor's Cup is coming. You have time for us that time, right?
Anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming.